What's up, everybody? Well, I got another gameplay video for you guys today on the Asus G15 Advantage, and today we're gonna have a look at Monster Hunter Rise, which just came out on Game Pass. Just got done doing Hi-Fi Rush and a couple other requests, so I figured, all right, well, let's do this one. I'm sure there's a bunch of people that want to play that one. So I figured on this guy, we'll do 1080p, 1440, then move on to the desktops as usual. Unless, of course, somebody does hit me up and said, hey man, how's it run at ultra wide or 4K? I figure it's better to wait for people to ask for those, since otherwise almost no one watches it, and then it takes a lot of time to make those. I remember getting one comment, they were like, making these kind of videos takes no effort and no time, so don't act like it's hard work. And it's like, it's harder than you think. It takes like 30-40 minutes to get all the gameplay footage alone, and you have to make sure you're in a good spot, repeatable, or that you're just playing the game and being decent at it, one of the two. Then you gotta go take all the frickin' files, voice over them, then you gotta throw them in DaVinci and start rendering them, getting rid of all that, the little blank spaces where I just kind of sit there and think for a second. Nobody wants to just sit there while I'm sitting here making no noise at all. So that's saving time right there. Then you gotta wait for it to encode, then you gotta wait for it to upload, then you gotta do the chapters and do the whole description. So it's still a little work. It's not like I told the guy, oh yeah, it's so hard. No, nothing like that, but it's still work. That was my only point. But anyway, enough with the rambling. Let's go ahead and get this guy hooked up to the capture computer. Let's go have a look at the settings, and who knows, this might even be one where we can just play it maxed out and not even go through all the settings, but I'll see what it's like once I get in there. I can usually kind of guess how a game's gonna be just kind of on the start screen. Anyway though, let's go jump on in.
Well, all right, before we hop into the game, let's just look over our settings real quick here. We're gonna start off on low. And at least this game lets me slide through all these for you guys instead of just like showing you the window like I had to do on the Final Fantasy 15 video. And of course we're at 1080p. Now the display I have it hooked up to right now is 120 Hertz, but that doesn't matter as we're unlimited and have VSync off, so that really doesn't matter. It could be at 5 Hertz and it wouldn't matter, you know? But anyway, that's the bottom. So let's go hop on into the game, shall we? All right, here we go on low, which kind of looks like what you'd probably have to run it on Steam Deck. But who knows? If we're getting 300 FPS, you could probably get over 60 FPS in this game, almost maxed out on a Steam Deck. I'm probably going to buy this game, so we'll find out. I'm also probably going to buy Hi-Fi Rush, but I'll get it on Steam so I can also play it on the Steam Deck. It seems like it's the perfect kind of game for the Steam Deck, you know? That is, as long as it runs good. Rhythm games need constant FPS. Can't have lots of lags and dips. And of course here, I know you're like, oh, is he just going to run around in town? Well, in this video, yes. But I'm going to make another video once I get done with the tutorial and get farther. And then we'll get some gameplay of some battles and fighting monsters and whatnot too. Because I know it's called Monster Hunter, not run around in a fucking town. But I didn't know how long they were going to talk my ear off. Some games literally make me sit 30-40 minutes before I can even start getting you guys footage. But I like the game at the same time, so I don't want to just press A and skip everything and not understand how to do anything. So. Oh. Man, what is that dog doing? He was just running right into a fucking wall. With our weird little mochi going on here. Yeah, certainly doesn't look very good on low, but I think that's good enough. Why don't we now move on to the next setting? Well, now we're moving on to average graphics settings, or medium, whichever you prefer to call it. So let's look over them right quick before we hop into the game. Now, they may be grayed out for the most part, but at least it lets me scroll through these things. Some games just are blacked out when you use presets. And then it's just like, all right, well here, stare at this screen for 30 seconds or something. That's boring. Anyway, though, we're still at 1080p, of course. Haven't changed anything else here. Unlimited FPS and all that good junk. No VSync. So now, why don't we go ahead and hop back into the game and see how average does. Here we go. Get some average gameplay in here. It certainly looks a lot better now. Just moving up to average really cleans stuff up. So again, we'll just run around town a little bit. And as I said before, I'm going to definitely get some battle gameplay a little later, once I get out of the tutorial and learn how to play the game and all that. Because I know people are going to want to know how, if it lags or whatnot when you're fighting monsters and stuff, because it's not like everybody's just going to sit in town and run around, but I didn't know how long it was going to take to do the little tutorial here, so I saw an opportunity and I took it. Yeah, it runs really smooth. It does do shader compilation at the very beginning of the game, so I like that. I'm totally an advocate for that. All DirectX 12 games should do that, and if they did, they probably wouldn't stutter if they were made correctly. If it does shader compiling and then it still stutters and lags, then the game is honestly just made like shit. There's no reason for that. Because we definitely know games didn't used to stutter this bad before DirectX 12 came around. So it's always refreshing to see one that runs this smooth, even if it's not the most graphically intensive game. I could be wrong on this, but I could have sworn this originally came out on the Switch, kind of like as a timed exclusive, and then it just recently released on PC. And possibly like PS5 and the other consoles too, I'm not really sure. I just saw it on Game Pass, was like, oh, I'm sure people would like to see how this runs. Fuck it, let's do a little video on it real quick. Got done with most of the gameplay requests. I still have to do some Afterburner and one of those tuning software, AMD tuning software program videos. But I think I'm done with the gameplay requests for now. Well, almost. Anyway, well now, here we go. Getting a little high gameplay in now. And this is the max setting, and nothing else we can really do. So we'll just scroll through these real quick. All right, now let's go back and we'll go finish looking through all these settings real quick. We're still at 1080p, of course. All these are the same, but it's always nice to just show that they're the same, you know? Anyway, let's go see how high does. Well, let's get a little high gameplay in now. So we'll just run around. Definitely doesn't look so bad now. Obviously not the most supremely ultra graphics that I've ever seen, but definitely seen far worse. And shit, even at 1080p, like the floor and ground textures and shit seem to be better than half of what Forspoken could do, so that's pretty funny. Now, of course, there's other parts where Forspoken does win. I'm not completely just gonna make that game out to be trash, but my main problem with it was the frickin' like backgrounds and landscapes just look so bad. Like you get up to on the side of a mountain and you're like doing parkour up mountains, you're gonna look at them and you're like, wow, why does this look like PS3 textures? What the fuck? It's not like my computer couldn't handle the textures, so I don't know what the hell is going on. And then I looked at what it looked like on PS5 and I was like, oh my, I'm glad I didn't get it on that shit. And then I actually saw people bragging about how Forspoken was playing so great on PS5, and I'm like, sub 1080p and under 30 FPS at a lot of times is not what I would call bragging rights, but hey, I guess you do whatever you want to do. I mean, I can't stop people from making dumb comments, but I can definitely laugh at them for making dumb comments. But it's best to just stay out of those kind of comments. Nothing good ever comes out of it. You can't, like, ever educate anybody. Most people in those kind of comment sections are just going to fanboy over whatever plastic box they like. If they like Xbox, they're going to say, nope, Xbox is the best. If you like PlayStation, nope, PlayStation's the best. Nope, if you like Switch, Switch is the best. And even PC. But PC is arguably one of the best. It does have its issues, but it's arguably, like, the most versatile. And it factually has the most exclusives, even though people don't like to admit it. It may not have the most AAA exclusives anymore, but for indies and all that shit, if that's what you like, and half the time I've honestly been having fun with AA and indie titles here. So, AAAs are starting to get kind of lame, but it seems like this one might be kind of fun. I'm pretty sure this is considered a AAA title, not a AA. I could be wrong, but this one looks like it could be some fun. Anyway, let's move on. All right, guys, let's get ourselves a little camera recorded gameplay now. This seems like it might be a pretty fun game, though. I like the ninja theme. Yeah, big old tuna over there. And our giant waterfalls. This place is pretty damn cool looking. Might not be the best looking game known to man, but still pretty cool. And at least with that, it runs really good. I mean, we're maxed out getting hundreds of FPS. We're getting like competitive levels of FPS here, maxed out. I wonder if I'll be able to pick that up later. It looks like you can do something shiny. But since I haven't gone to where I'm supposed to go into the gathering club up here, but as soon as they stopped talking and whatnot, I saw an opportunity and I was like, alright, fuck this, I'm gonna walk around the town and get us some footage. Because usually in games like this, towns are one of the hardest places to run. Because of all the like little NPCs running around and whatnot. Figured if I went into there, I'm probably just going to be talking and talking for probably 20-30 more minutes before I ever get any battle action. But I'll probably come back and do another video where we do the whole settings again, but this time we're out doing battles and stuff. If there's one thing that irritates me while doing this, it's when I want to get some footage, and it's like they just won't stop talking. And it's like, I don't want to just make all my videos nothing but sitting there watching a cutscene, you know? It's not like I'm mad at the game, it's just annoying for what I do. But I don't want to skip it, because I like the game, you know? So it's just kind of a crappy circumstance I just have to put up with. But they say patience is a virtue, so... Oh, it looks like the Misty got stuck. There she comes. Or he comes. I technically don't know what... if that thing is male or female, it doesn't really matter though. It's just a little kitty that follows you. The other one reminds me of the fricking wolf from Tales of Vesperia. Even got the little daggers on the side. Big ass fucking swords there, shit. Although I guess mine's already pretty large. Not quite Cloud Buster Sword large, but they're making their mochi. Again, I'm supposed to go in here, but I refuse. I can't go down there yet. They look like little shrines. Bunch of cool trinkets in there. But alright, now we're done with my settings, I'd say, which is pretty much just the game being on Ultra, maxed out, and they were cool. They actually got rid of stuff I would turn off in the first place, like motion blur and depth of field and what was the other one, like lens effects and shit like that. I don't personally like crap like that in my games. All it does is get in your line of sight and make it hard to see shit. So that's why I didn't bother sitting there customizing anything. Max or high already did a good job for me. But anyway, why don't we now go and wrap this video on up?
Well, alright guys, that is a wrap from Monster Hunter Rise, and it played absolutely beautifully, but it's not like it was the most graphically intensive game in the world. I probably could have just maxed it out and played, but I figured screw it. It's more fun to go through all the settings. So that's a wrap for 1080p anyway. Ran good as you saw, and I didn't even really see any stutter, did you guys? Half the time with this laptop, there's always just like a small little ping of lag every once in a while. Very rare on my computer, like 3-4 minutes, and it might happen once or twice. It's not the kind of thing where it's like people probably imagine where it's like, oh, stutter. It must just be like, boom, stutter, 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 just a complete stutter fest. In some games, yes, but not in most. Especially not in this one. But anyway though, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's time for me to wrap it up, move on to 1440p, and then we'll move on to the desktops. But in any case, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, because I sure as hell enjoyed making it. And until the next one, peace out, guys.